5 years on from the original, Code 8, Lincoln City and its police force, the LCPD, have seen remarkable transformations. These changes are a testament to the evolution of technology and a shift in how society perceives the role of law enforcement, particularly in dealing with individuals who possess special abilities. The reformed LCPD and introduction of K-9 robots. Under the guidance of Sergeant Kingston, the LCPD has transformed its approach to policing. Moving away from the heavily armed humanoid robots known as Guardians, which symbolized a more aggressive and militarized stance, the department has adopted non-lethal companion K-9 robots. These robots, designed to resemble dogs, represent a strategic pivot towards a less confrontational and more community-friendly police presence. The introduction of K-9 robots is aimed at softening the image of the police force, potentially repairing the strained relationship between law enforcement and citizens, especially those with special abilities. This change suggests a broader attempt to foster a safer, more harmonious urban environment, reducing the likelihood of violent encounters and possibly easing tensions within the city. Connor Reed's path to redemption. Connor Reed's journey into this new chapter of his life is marked by a deliberate choice to distance himself from his past. Fresh out of prison, he finds employment as a janitor at a youth community center managed by Mina. This role is a stark departure from his earlier life filled with conflicts and the utilization of his powers for survival or personal gain. Working in a place that nurtures and supports young people, Connor seeks to keep his head down, focus on his responsibilities, and avoid any trouble that could remind him or others of his past misdeeds. Garrett's ethical drug empire in Towers. In Code 8, Part 2, Garrett has taken over an apartment complex known as Towers, where he has established a so-called ethical drug empire. He does this by exploiting individuals with special powers, paying them for their spinal fluid to produce a drug named Psych. This situation underscores the harsh realities of life within Towers, especially for those like Pavani and her brother Tarak, who live in poverty amid this dangerous environment. Tarak's desperation and tragic end. Tarak's dire circumstances drive him to steal a bag of cash from Garrett's operation, an act of desperation that leads to his capture by Sergeant King and his corrupt police unit. To conceal their illicit activities, King decides to eliminate Tarak, staging his death as a drug overdose using Psych. During this grim event, Pavani, Tarak's sister, witnesses the murder. She employs her unique ability to cause a malfunction in the robotic K-9 unit sent to hunt her brother, allowing her to escape. Pavani's escape and refuge. Seeking safety and refuge, Pavani turns to the community center run by Connor and Mina. There, she finds a temporary haven from the prying eyes of the LCPD. Connor, understanding the danger Pavani faces and the broader implications of her knowledge, reaches out to Garrett. He proposes a peace deal that disturbingly includes erasing Pavani's memory of her brother's murder, ostensibly to protect her and perhaps to maintain a fragile peace within their community. Connor's moral dilemma. However, when Connor witnesses the process erasing all memories Pavani holds of her brother, not just the traumatic ones, he recognizes the inhumanity of this solution. The realization that Pavani would lose all connection to her brother, effectively erasing him from her existence, compels Connor to intervene. He fights to stop the procedure, determined to free Pavani from this forced forgetfulness. Fleeing the city and ambush. As Connor, Pav, and Mina attempt to leave the city to escape the oppressive environment and constant threats, they face an unexpected betrayal. Garrett and his crew, driven by their own agenda and survival instincts, ambush them. This confrontation reveals the depth of the city's corruption and the personal betrayals that have become all too common. The standoff and sacrifice. The situation escalates when Sergeant King, embodying the corrupt arm of law enforcement, unleashes robotic guardians with orders to eliminate everyone involved, viewing them as loose ends that could expose the network of corruption he oversees. In a moment of selflessness and sacrifice, Mina acts to save Connor, Pav, and even Garrett, allowing them a chance to escape. Her sacrifice underscores the themes of loyalty and the high stakes involved in their fight against corruption. The plan to expose King. In their continued effort to bring justice for Tarak's murder and expose the systemic corruption led by Sergeant King, Detective Davis becomes an unlikely ally. Together, they devise a plan to infiltrate King's home to steal the K9 unit, a robotic dog, which contains crucial evidence of the crime. Successfully obtaining the K9 unit represents a glimmer of hope, not just for justice for Turok, but also as a means to challenge the corrupt system. The final confrontation. In the story's climax, the heroes are cornered in the towers by Sergeant King and his dishonest police squad, following Garrett's unsuccessful negotiation attempts. This tense moment leads to an ingenious diversion by Garrett's team, ensuring Connor and Pav can slip away, showcasing the strong bonds and mutual sacrifices within their group. As Connor and Pav make their escape, they encounter a robotic K9 unit sent after them. Connor's initial attempt to neutralize the K9 with an electric attack fails, showcasing the limitations of their immediate resources against the technologically advanced force they're up against. However, Pav steps forward, tapping into her full potential to manipulate and turn the K9 against the pursuing officers. This moment is pivotal, not only in showcasing Pav's growth and strength but also in illustrating the turning of the tide against their oppressors. The confrontation escalates into a final standoff outside the towers. Here, Garrett faces off against another K9 and King himself, buying time for Connor and Pav. Pav's ability to broadcast the incriminating evidence from King's personal K9 unit is a strategic and decisive move that exposes the corruption and crime King is involved in, particularly the murder of Pav's brother. This act of broadcasting serves as a catalyst for justice, leveraging technology against those who used it for oppression. Conclusion. Sergeant King's arrest signifies the crumbling of a corrupt regime within the LCPD, shedding light on the misuse of power within the force. The decision to shelve the K9 program for further inspection reflects a re-evaluation of law enforcement methods, considering the ethical implications of such technology. Garrett's imprisonment suggests accountability for his actions, despite his complex role in the narrative. Meanwhile, Connor's initiative to restart the Youth Community Center with Pav, in honor of Mina, symbolizes hope and the beginning of a healing process for the community. It represents a commitment to rebuilding and creating a space for growth, learning, and memorializing those who sacrificed for their cause. Thank you for watching our detailed exploration of Code 8, Part 2. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this video, and comment below with your thoughts on the movie. What do you think lies ahead for Connor, Garrett, and the future of powered individuals?